Elizabeth buying a new construction home, and she sent us an email. Remember, this is new construction, asking should she get a home inspection and is it mandatory? So we'll start with Greg on this. So you recently bought your home, had it built, new construction.
Yeah,
Did you have a home inspection?
of course. And we deal with a lot of new construction cases in particular. And the one of the biggest things we recommend is to get a home inspection at the end of the term before you take the keys.
Yeah, before you when you're doing your walkthrough or before doing the
Before you sign that paperwork, make sure you do a walkthrough, you do a blue tape walkthrough. Ensure these builders they have licensed inspectors come through and do certain things, but you want your own independent inspector to come through just so that you have things noted. It might not be things that need to be structural or safety issues, but you're going to have them noted. If things go wrong in the future, you can go back on these things and have the builder say, hey, listen, this is symptomatic of this. We didn't ask for it, but you can get some leverage there.
So, Chuck, is it mandatory to have a home inspection?
No,
Another part of Elizabeth's
no,
question.
it's not mandatory, but it's a great idea. I mean, and it's not just, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick up little things. They know about this. Builders in Louisville, they're a great group of guys. However, there are some flippers. There are some people who do, refurbishing houses and then selling them. And they may not use the best guys. I ran into a case about 2 years ago where the plumber wasn't licensed. He had worked for a plumber for a little bit as a helper, and he had gone into other houses, taken the stickers off the hot water heaters and things like that, and was reusing them on things he did. So, that doesn't happen often, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like my wife always points out, the likelihood of my pug killing me is very small, but never zero.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And we should point out, Brad, so with new construction, and there are a lot of builders who will say, oh, listen, I've got all these inspectors, Greg, right, Chuck's right. But having your own inspector it really is a smart move, especially if you're buying a new house. What would you be looking for in new construction that may be overlooked?
So keep in mind that these code inspectors that they're talking about have very, very limited scope. So you're going to have a plumbing inspector, you're going to have an electrical inspector come out. They're only looking at those systems. Builders, just like Chuck said, the builders in the city are generally great folks. The challenge is when one subcontractor's work meets another subcontractor's work. Okay. For instance, your HVAC guy comes out, he puts all the duct work in, the flooring guy comes out behind him and forgets to cut the holes in the floor to allow the duct to blow air into a room. We see that all the time. We have seen homes that they didn't insulate certain parts of the attic. I have a classic picture in one of the presentations, the training presentation that I do, that shows a home that was family lived in for 6 years, that they were hot in the summer, cold in the winter, and HVAC guys couldn't figure it out, and they had zero insulation in the attic. And this is about a $600,000 home. The other problem that you run into is sometimes those code stickers are put on to, say, a water heater that then is moved after the plumbing inspector looked at it, and it's moved to another part and it's installed incorrectly. We see those every once in a while when changes are made. The big one though is the grading outside the home. A lot of times you end up with final grades that have sod built up over the level of, say, your basement windows, or we will always suggest a sewer line inspection for new construction, because the sewer lines oftentimes get damaged by the heavy equipment that runs over the yard during that phase of construction. And unfortunately, those type problems don't manifest themselves. They don't show up, for potentially years later. But, to Greg's point too, not only, do we recommend the inspection, even if it just becomes a punch list for the builder. But also a lot of people will have the inspector come back before the warranty period ends, so you do it like the 11-month mark, so you can catch those things that have gotten bad. Like we see a lot of problems with the way that siding is installed, and sealants that fail, window seals that thermal seals go bad, so a lot of those things are picked up during those 11-month inspections. But obviously I'm a home inspector. I always recommend inspection, but new construction, there are a lot of small problems. They're material problems that you want to correct before you take ownership of it.